Hey, you're with your business editor Vishal Krishna. It's so good to be back after a day in Hyderabad running behind IKEA. But today I've got a wonderful startup friend, Biplob Barik, who's the founder of Boxnbiz. Hi, Biplob.
Hi, Vishal. Thank you for having me here.
It'll be lovely to talk to you.
Yeah.
What is he going to talk about? All of you guys know shipping, international shipping is a pain in the ass, right? It takes you 40 days and sometimes your product gets lost. And Biplob is going to uncomplicate it for you. And by the way, Boxnbiz is a SaaS company.
Right.
And they ensure that all those 77 documents
yes.
that people get confused with are uncomplicated.
Yes.
And you ensure that all the payments are taken care of, right?
Right.
So what is Boxnbiz all about?
So Boxnbiz is a freight forwarding and custom brokerage company which helps importers and exporters to ship their goods across globe with a click of a button. We basically focus on three major things, which is upfront pricing, simplifying the documentation and managing the bookings.
Upfront pricing,
simplifying the documentation and making payments very simpler.
Okay. And you have 20 paying customers.
Yes, we have 20 paying customers.
Before we get into the customers and what you do for them, see, my friend Aaron, who's the social media head, ordered a Nike shoes, right?
Right.
And it's not yet arrived, man. I mean, it's more than 35 days. Why?
Right. So what essentially happens is Aaron booked a Nike shoe from the store directly. So essentially what happens, there are a lot of supply chain ends, a lot of stakeholders.
So that's America to India, right?
America to India. It's between America to India, it's an import. So a lot of stakeholders in between. There is a distributor who will collect the cargo, then he will move it to a freight forwarder, then it will go to a shipping line or an airline. It will come to Indian customs, and Indian customs from their truck up to your doorstep. So what essentially happens is there are a lot of data and touch points which need to be fulfilled, need to be informed to people. It is not happening because people are not aligned to a single platform.
So the e-commerce platform takes the order,
yes,
which is Nike's platform,
yes,
fulfills the order at their end,
yes,
which means it's only organized from their warehouse till the shipping center,
right,
or the freight forwarder.
Right.
From there, it's all fragmented,
all in air.
Okay.
In there. So
and
what essentially happens is it's going to a warehouse of an e-commerce platform, and then a freight forwarder who is coming out of a blue and is managing your shipping is ordering to the shipping line. Shipping line is carrying the goods and nobody is informed when and where it is going to arrive. Right? And when it arrives to Indian customs, nobody is taking care of the product. Reason behind, nobody is tracking the commodity when it has arrived. So it's stuck in the warehouse somewhere. Nobody knows when it has come. All the manifest has been done, but he is not informed about it. So there is no proper ending partner who can make the first mile and last mile all together within a single platform.
So there are technologies, right? Everybody has technologies.
Yes.
Obviously, Nike in its glory has technologies.
Yes.
But then you're saying every technology is fragmented once it goes to a shipper. Right. He has this technology, but that's fragmented.
Right.
Every level it's broken.
Right.
It's not stitched.
It's not stitched. I'll tell you why. So if we understand what is fragmented industry is, there are two major challenges. First is there are a lot of stakeholders into the process, not only Nike, but there are distributors, warehousing agents who are tied up with Nike but not into their company, and there are freight forward and shipping company, lot of people, right? And the other aspect is in terms of communication. So there is no communication channel has been created in between them. So either there's phone or email or fax, right? So what need to be enabled in this process is a single centralized platform which can centralize all the people on the single chain. So if a warehouse guy is checking whose order has been come to the warehouse, Nike should know it's their material, and he should also can check in the application whether it has reached to the warehouse or not, right? So every party should be informed about it, but it's not happening.
Is it also because these companies have multiple vendors?
Yes.
Is that the reason? You're saying regardless of the vendors, there has to be a platform that can track everybody.
There should be a platform which can track everybody. It's not about only multiple vendors. It's also about there is no clear communication channel, right? So maybe Alan and me are speaking over a communication channel like mail. Then Nike and he is speaking over a phone. So there is no fixed platform which is tracking the entire messages. So that is not happening.
So okay, you started this business a couple of years ago?
2 years ago.
You struggled
very much.
And I remember last year I met you.
Yes.
You were really struggling, but now you've got 20 paying customers. You're almost on board to get your first line of money, VC money, which is a great news for your story.
Yes.
You know, you have to tell us, how did you survive those years? I mean, you were not an international business.
Right.
You started out of India. For a SaaS company,
yes,
you know, the likes of Zoho and Freshworks have gone global.
Right.
But you started out of India.
So challenge for us was not only to become a very great SaaS player into the industry, but also to be a very great player into the freight forwarding segment. So we are playing on both the ends. So that makes very complicated situation for us. We have to develop a product which can be sold out
completely new.
Completely new. On the other hand, I have to develop my vendors, partners to do the freight forwarding shipping as well. So essentially, I am competing against DHL, FedEx, or all others channel partners. Also, I am competing against the Ramco or certain kind of a SaaS
Correct.
platform.
That's a technology platform.
Right.
You have freight forward, but the freight forwarders can be a client also, no?
Not exactly. What essentially happens is we have a partnership kind of a model. I'll explain you further.
Yes, please.
What essentially happened in terms of struggling with us is understanding that who is our right customer. For the first year, we were not sure who is the right customer. We were selling out to anybody in between who is paying us money. Over the years, we understood there are people who need a logistic support system, not only rates or not only service.
So this can be your SMBs audience watching
Yes.
out there. It can
Yes.
be you.
Yes.
There are 50 million SMEs out there.
Yes.
25 million manufacturing companies.
Correct.
So you're all exporters. I know only
Correct.
1 million SMEs export in this country,
Correct.
but they still are confused with not having a platform. So they're your clients.
They are my clients. So what essentially happens is I'll little bit explain what happens inside the company, right? So SMB who is importing or exporting across the globe, they don't have a dedicated logistics team. It takes a lot of time to build a logistics team who can manage your entire supply chain, right? So in that period of struggling, anybody who's a startup or a SMB needs a platform or an advisor or a freight forwarder who can manage entire supply chain for them. Over that, they can help them to scale up their operations. So our product, which is a SaaS platform, helps them to scale up the product, scale up their operations. On the other hand, we help them also to move the cargo.
Okay, how does it happen? It's a downloadable app, or it's an
No,
app
no.
I install on my
It
desktop.
can be open on any platform, Google Chrome, anywhere. It's a web link.
It's a web link.
Yes.
Okay, once I do that, then I drag and drop all my vendors onto the platform.
Yes.
And then I can also put SMSs saying that, okay, these are the amount of
Correct.
items. Is that how it works?
Exactly what happens is all the vendors who want the business can be logged into the platform. On the other hand, people can sign up with us and we will be providing entire SaaS package which will be helping them to search out the rates across the globe anywhere sitting from their office. First thing. Second, once they are onboarded, we help them to create a workflow structure for them. So who is the decision maker, then who will be taking actions, and then the workflow can be managed for them. Right. Second, a communication channel can be built inside the process. So entire package has been installed in the company within 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. Give me an example. SMEs export a lot.
Right.
And
right.
I know India exports about 250 million or 260 million or
Right,
something every year
right,
on an average.
Yes.
A billion, that is.
Billion,
260
billion
billion,
dollars.
sorry.
Yes.
I stand corrected there.
Correct.
If an SME signs up with you,
Okay.
you give them a web link,
Right.
but you have to include all the suppliers.
So I have my own supplier base. So it's not about supplier is directly connected with the customer.
So you're not only a tech platform, but you also have the base that you tie the SME to.
Yes.
That will be
So
the
we act
freight
as a freight
forwarders.
forwarder.
Okay.
We essentially act as a freight forwarder, tying up with multiple suppliers or vendors, right? So anybody who is into our web link, logged in the page, we will be the people who will be the single point of contact.
Okay. Say I'm selling automobile components.
Right.
Say I'm selling gear components to
Right.
Turkey or something, or
Right.
South Africa or something.
Right.
How does it happen with you guys?
So
Once I sign up with you.
Yes. Once you sign up with me, you have to check out into the section where you can search out what are the rates going on into the market. So just like Make My Trip or Go, you can search out the flight rates and book the shipment. The
So
moment you book
this
the
is for
shipment-
cargo.
This is for
So
cargo.
say I choose FedEx, for example.
None of the freight forwarder will be shown on the platform.
Okay.
We have a
Or
separate.
you just
type.
put in the rates.
Yes,
and I
just put
choose
in the
rate.
rates.
Okay.
Yes,
And
yes.
once I choose the rates, who
Once you
comes
choose
and
the
picks it
rate,
up?
my agent or the supplier will get the notification who is under the platform again, and then everybody starts working. We will be single point of contact to communicate between both the parties, right? But essentially, people will back end will be happening the entire operations.
So the advantage of signing up with Boxnbiz is Biplob that I get to track where my product is.
Exactly.
And my end customer knows where the product is.
Exactly.
Is that what you offer?
Exactly.
So, but all the DHL guys do it, no? Track your parcel.
Yes. What happens is DHL is limited towards maximum 150 kgs. So DHL mostly dominates the market of courier industry. FedEx dominates the market of courier industry. So there is no freight forwarder involved in the process who can manage over 150 kgs with the same service level. So nobody can track your cargo which is more than 150
Say if I'm
kgs.
importing machinery,
Yes.
that's a problem.
So
or
yes.
exporting machinery.
Yes. So you cannot track the cargo. So what happens is you cannot book a shipment with DHL in such case, right? You're importing a machinery, you need to have a cargo agent, right? So we are a cargo agent.
Okay.
So DHL is a courier agent,
Okay.
right? So if you move
Would
to the
DHL
cargo
use their ships to bring the product into the
they have their
port?
own airlines.
That they would.
Yes.
That they can.
Yes.
But I need a custom agent if I'm doing anything more than
exactly.
150 kgs.
Again, you need a separate agent. DHL won't be doing a clearance
Why is
for
that?
you. So DHL is predominantly very strong into moving from port to port, not into port to door, right? So they have a partners kind of a model where they provide the custom agents, right? Over that, again, anybody who is into courier mode, I am saying that DHL is the best partner.
Yes, I agree.
But if it is a cargo mode, then DHL they cannot.
See, there are some of our SMEs who do a lot of FMCG kind of product,
right.
which could also run into tons sometimes, right? And that they need custom agents too.
Exactly. So you based on a very right question. Let's say Ferrero Rocher, which is an FMCG company, right? So for F&B, any kind of company who is importing a cargo, they need certain kind of licenses, right? So in DHL or any other company cannot do the same thing for you, because you need a very personal consultative approach to the importing process, right? You need FASSI, all the certification, all kind of thing.
How many certifications?
3 to 4 certifications for an F&B product or FMCG product. Over that normal 20 or 30 documentation.
Okay.
So in that case, you need a cargo agent who can do a consulting for you, over that manage your custom clearance processes and ship your cargo across globes. So that is not possible till today into a cargo industry.
So in the old days, it was say you're the CEO, you would give it to a trusted partner, a logistics head, and he would make phone calls, emails.
Exactly.
That's how it worked.
Yes.
It still works like that.
It still works in same kind. So you are a logistics guy in a company. You have given a cargo to a freight forwarding agent, and he's calling around to multiple people. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm sitting in India. You have an import shipment for USA. So time zone are very different, right? So today morning, if you're asking me an information, you'll get the information tomorrow morning.
Yes, it's not live.
Yes, with Boxnbiz, what essentially happens is everybody is connected into the same platform. What happens is, if somebody is not in office in USA, my agent, the message, whatever you are asking or my customer is asking, will pop up into his application. So from his phone, he can reply you back. But in email communication, it doesn't happen.
So it's interesting that once the commodity is, once the machinery is manufactured, it has to move out of the factory.
Right.
It cannot stay in the warehouse for long.
Not
because it's a cost for me.
Yes.
Right? So you're saying that economies of scale can happen with your kind of product.
Exactly.
Because it's real time.
Exactly.
Because every machine manufactured is manufactured on a predated order.
Correct.
Right? So it has to move.
Correct.
So the only problem is it gets stuck in inventory because the logistics has to be planned.
Has to be planned.
So in the old days, what? They'd manufacture first and then plan the logistics?
Or
simultaneously.
In the old days,
I know the FMCG guys did it simultaneously.
Yes.
They know a lot that's coming out and they did it. What about the machinery
company? For machinery people, the biggest challenge is not only about having a warehouse stuck, but also managing the labors to handle. So let's say the product is holded somewhere between, you are arranging 200 labors to manage and nobody is in between to solve the problem. So for a manufacturing industry, it's very important for them to understand when the cargo will arrive to their port. Right? So for them to understand when the cargo will depart from the origin port. So these two information are very clear, right? To understand these two information, you have to be very informed then when the material will move from their supplier's warehouse. So all this supply chain information should be very crisp and clear in this entire process, right? So old school days, there was nobody to give you the information. Everything was phone and nobody's picking the call or nobody's giving the mail. In our process, what happens is everybody, since connection is there, since complication is not there, information is on real time. Right? So if you want to ask an information when my cargo is arriving, you're not asking to Boxnbiz, you're asking directly to my agent.
Okay. So one of the things I like about your product is because you're doing an end-to-end solution, Biplob.
Yeah.
You can do factoring, you can tie up with people for factoring, you can tie up with bill of lading finance.
Right.
You want to explain to our audience what these two things mean. I'd also like you to know, because you're collecting so much data about export, import, you actually know the working capital cycle of these people with their shipping. Correct?
Right.
Is there something called shipping finance? Do people raise money?
There are concept of shipping finance where people need working capital to move the cargo, because end of the day there is a 90 days of credit period of cycle.
Can I take money on my bill of lading?
You can take, but there is again concepts which Boxnbiz is not doing, but other companies are doing, like Merck's and other companies. Yes. So these companies are doing the same kind of method where they will be financing you for the next 90 days for particular bill of lading, which will be holding with you.
Because your machinery is stuck in port or something like that, right?
Yes. So until then the machinery is stuck into the port, your bill of lading is holded with Merck's or any other shipping line or any other freight forwarder, and they will be providing you money against that to manage your
Would you like to get into it?
I'm not very sure about the entire process.
Why is that?
The reason is we are more into a shipping movement, not into the freight finances. Right?
But you're getting so much data, right? You have financial data.
Yes.
You have
so based on
port data.
Right. I can say you that based on the data, we can plan what is the amount of working capital required for a company. Let's say any company who is importing in a month, let's say 1 container, 2 container, 200 containers, we have a clear data of what is the amount of cost has been spent in terms of custom duty and the manufacturing cost, the product import cost. Based on that, we can tie up with the finances companies who can help out against the factoring process, where you can get some kind of money against your invoices or the bill of lading submitted. So some kind of thing can be happened, but I'm not very sure about it.
Okay, one advice to entrepreneurs who are exporting or
Right.
thinking of exporting now.
Right.
If they sign up with you, what are the 5 benefits that they can get?
Yeah. So any exporter who sign up with us, first they get instant freight quotes. So it reduce all the time span of finding the quotation, a clear quotation. So quotes are very clear on spot on your screen, so you can plan out your entire logistics cost. Second benefit is you can easily plan your entire supply chain, bring on, drag and drop all your suppliers into the process, and let them get informed that when the cargo is, where it is moving, and who is responsible for the movement, right? So very crisp and transparent information. And the third benefit what they get in terms of the shipping process is they can manage their overall layer of data. So in a freight forwarding company, if you're doing directly with a freight forwarder, you cannot have a real-time data collection into your system. So you cannot plan out that what is the amount of freight I have spent in the entire
you have to manually enter that yourself. Yeah.
So with Boxnbiz customized real-time reports, which will help you end of the day to find out what is the amount of logistics spend I have done in terms of shipping or bill of lading or in terms of duty and everything, and you can plan out your next year budgeting accordingly.
Okay, what does a typical Indian company, SMB, spend on logistics?
Monthly you're asking, or what?
Yearly, on a revenue basis?
Percentage, if I say it's 15% of overall product.
That's very high.
Very high, very high. So in terms of GDP also, you see the logistics cost is 15%, which is very high into the developing sectors, right? Developing countries. Overall in USA, it's hardly 6%.
How do they contact you? What's your website and what's your email?
So they can contact us on www.boxnbiz.com. They have to just register on a platform, and our team will get connected with them. The entire supply chain and logistics process can be set up into their internal operations within 3 minutes. So that can be done on the platform.
You know, I want to also ask you.
Yeah.
There are many players doing this in the shipping side.
Yes.
It's not easy, but you've survived.
Yes.
And you've got paying customers. You're generating revenues.
Even we are profitable.
Yes, you're profitable.
Yeah.
Talk about your first 5 customers, and how hard it was, and how you survived quickly.
First 6 months was very tough. No customer in hand.
You came from the shipping industry, right?
I came from the shipping industry. I spent close to 3 years in shipping industry. No customer because of the technology issue. Nobody wants to onboard into the software-based platform. They want only rate, and we have no rates in backend.
Or they don't want the technology. They want to know the finance.
Yes,
they want to know the rates.
End of the day, they want bhai kitne mein bik raha hai, right? So it was very tough to find out. But with Boxnbiz, we have come up with a very unique price point of selling the product, which means if you want to import a material which is a part load in sea mode from China to India, essentially people are spending 45,000 average cost in Bangalore. We bring it at 15,000 rupees for them.
45,000 per tonnage?
No, per bill of lading.
Per bill of lading. And that includes any amount of weightage or anything?
Maximum 6 metric tons.
6 metric tons.
Yes. So the same case with us, it's hardly 15,000.
Okay, so 6 months were hard to generate money.
Very hard.
You burnt your finances.
Lot of.
How did you survive?
So we survived with whatever the cash we had in pocket, but we were very sure on the entire process that after 6 months or a year, we'll be getting a customer who will be supporting us, who needs the product, which can manage the supply chain. I cannot name the customer, but we got a very big client onboarded on the very first time, who was a refrigerator manufacturer, and now today we are working very well with them. We are with topmost startups in Bangalore who are working with us. We have couple of MNCs who are well known across the globe into our client list. So things happened with time, but very tough.
So you would tell them that it's not easy to be an entrepreneur. It's no honeymoon. It's not romantic, right?
It's not at all romantic. It looks very romantic from the facade, but it's not at all romantic. You have to be stick to your goals. You have to be spending a lot of sleepless nights. But end of the day, if you're making something meaningful, something dent into the industry, why not to do it?
So that was your motivation.
That is my motivation.
Was your motivation to saying that I have nothing else to do, I got to get this right? Was that your motivation?
Yes, exactly. Only one focus. You have to get this right. There is no other second option for you, right? So there are multiple options. If you have inside your mind, then you cannot survive into the industry, which is very strong. So only one option. You have to survive. You have to lead the industry, whichever way.
Quick tip on how do you win your clients?
We sell not product, but we sell solutions to them. So if you can help the customers to find out the solution what they are facing a problem, you can win a client.
You can win clients. That's great. Shall we go to audience questions and move on to some more questions from me? Arish says, what does Boxnbiz focus on? Company to vendors or companies to customers model?
So it's companies to customers model. right? So any company who is trying to import or export the product can directly pitch into us. They won't be connected with multiple vendors. They will be connected with only Boxnbiz, who is taking care of entire process.
Okay, so this is from Tamil, who says, if I'm a furniture manufacturer who's exporting to a global business like IKEA or a Walmart from Coimbatore or someplace, how does the pricing work if I sign up with Boxnbiz?
Okay, so in the entire process, you have most of 50 line items into the entire process. You're not sure about, any customer is not sure about what is the bill of lading charge is called, what is the VGM charge called. So with
what's the VGM?
So it verifies gross marks.
Very
conceptual, right? So a lot of 50 line items, customer is not sure which line items is happening, and at the end of the terms and condition, it is written subjective to any actual charge occurs. So what is the amount of actual charges coming to you end of the day? You're not sure, right? So nobody knows about the costing. What Boxnbiz solves is, we centralize all the data at a single point. We partner with vendors for a year-long contract basis. So end of the day, we will give you 4 to 5 line items and no other actual and certain kind of things. So within 4 or 5 line items, you are very clear about the pricing. What is the final amount I'm going to pay?
Okay, but how do the guys like, this is my question, how do the guys like Amazon or say even IKEA, IKEA imports 90% of its product into India. How do they manage that?
So for
there seems to be, the end customer doesn't have to worry, and it's always there. They never run out of inventory. They always have it in stock. How is it possible?
So it is possible. It is possible when you have a larger volume, you partner with multiple shipping lines. But the challenge in between is, shipping line doesn't know you that today if I'm not moving, you cannot cut my, you cannot debit any cost to me, right? So for IKEA, they have to set up an entire logistics process. People inside the process who are managing the entire supply chain. End of the day, you're spending a lot of money in manpower, not in the automation.
Very true. There are people managing the whole process, and that's why it's efficient.
Labor work. That's why it's efficient. So the solution is how we can eliminate this manual processes and make sure automation can happen in the process. That way they can scale their entire internal operations, right? So it's tough. They are managing because they're a large company. They have a lot of people manpower. But for a small company, it's not possible. So anybody who want to become big need to have an automation process inside.
Okay. So Indians are building brands, and you're saying that they have to go global and that they can work with you. Simplify logistics.
Exactly.
Right. Remember, guys. Again, Boxnbiz is a company that helps you in international shipping.
Correct.
They're not in domestic yet. Not yet, at least. And so you can contact Biplob. We gave you the details. You want to tell them the details once more?
Everybody can log into www.boxnbiz.com and everything can be taken.
What's your email?
So my email is biplob.barik at boxnbiz.com.
Spelling BIP?
Biplob.barik at boxnbiz.com. Anybody could mail me and I can connect to the right people to take care.
There you go, guys. Sign up. Happy shipping, and we'll see you in 10 minutes with a company which is going to change your life. You can talk with a ring to your girlfriend or boyfriend with the ring. Remember that. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Thanks again, Biplob.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.